What does it take to become a champion? Is it skill? Is it heart? Or is it something deeper? Something that pushes you to the very edge of your limits, and sometimes beyond welcome fight fans to an inside. Look at one of the most compelling stories in MMA today. This is the story of Ilia Topuria, a man who reached the pinnacle of the sport only to face a challenge far greater than any opponent himself today. We're not just talking about a fight, we're talking about sacrifice, pain, and the brutal reality of what it takes to stay at the top. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and get ready for a journey behind the scenes where the real battles are fought and where the price of greatness is paid in blood, sweat, and tears. Ilia Topuria wasn't always a household name born to Georgian parents in Germany. He grew up in Spain, a country not known for producing MMA stars, but from a young age, Topuria had a fire inside him, a relentless drive to prove himself. He started training in MMA as a teenager, quickly making a name for himself on the local circuit. His style was aggressive, his heart unbreakable, but what really set him apart was his ability to learn, adapt, and overcome any obstacle in his path. As he climbed the ranks, it became clear Ilia Topuria was destined for greatness. But greatness comes at a cost. Topuria's debut in the UFC was nothing short of spectacular. He entered the promotion with an undefeated record and a reputation for finishing fights in dramatic fashion. Fight after fight, he dismantled his opponents with precision striking and a never-say-die attitude. Fans took notice, analysts took notice, and before long, Topuria found himself in the title conversation. But the road to the top is never easy. Every victory was hard-earned, every setback a lesson. And as the stakes got higher, so did the pressure both inside and outside the cage. February 2024, the stage was set. Ilia Topuria, the rising star, faced Alexander Volkanovski, the reigning featherweight king. The fight was electric. Topuria, calm and composed, waited for his moment, and when it came, he struck with lightning speed, knocking out Volkanovski and claiming the title in spectacular fashion. The crowd erupted. Ilia Topuria was a world champion, but the celebration was short-lived because with the belt came a new challenge, one that would test him in ways no opponent ever could. Behind every champion is a story of sacrifice for Topuria. That sacrifice was the brutal process of cutting weight. In his documentary, Matador, Topuria pulls no punches. He describes the agony of the final days before weigh-ins, days marked by starvation, dehydration, and a level of suffering few can imagine. When you're cutting weight and you can't eat or drink water, you don't care about any material things. Topuria confesses they can give you bags of money. They can give you all the cars you want. You don't care at all if they give you this little glass of water and say you can drink this and it won't increase your weight. I'll give you whatever it takes in that moment. I'm so low, I feel terrible. It's like sitting naked in the middle of the street. The physical toll was immense, but the mental toll was even worse. Topuria's partner, Georgina Uzcategui, described the ordeal as going to hell, and back emphasizing the toll it took on their family and the urgent need to rethink his approach to fighting. As the title defenses piled up, so did the risks. Topuria's body began to rebel. His blood pressure dropped, his heart raced, he struggled to recover after weigh-ins. In one instance, the California Athletic Commission refused to clear him to fight, citing health concerns after a particularly brutal cut. Topuria was at a crossroads. He could keep pushing his body to the limit, risking his health and his career, or he could make a change for a champion. The choice was never easy, but for Topuria, it was necessary. After defending his title against Max Holloway, Topuria made a shocking announcement: he would vacate the featherweight belt. I know I'm not going to cut weight right now, and I don't want to hold down an entire division. There are guys who are preparing every day who are fighting just like me for their dreams, and keeping the title would be very selfish of me. Besides, I'm the world champion. Whether I vacate the title or not, I don't need a belt to feel worthy. Topuria explained. The MMA world was stunned. Some praised his honesty and courage. Others questioned his motives, but for Topuria, the decision was about survival and respect for the sport he loved. With the featherweight chapter closed, Topuria set his sights on the lightweight division, a move that promised new challenges, but also a reprieve from the torturous weight cuts. He adjusted his training, focusing on strength, endurance, and grappling, key areas for facing the bigger, stronger opponents at 155 pounds. Topuria teased fans on social media, asking if they wanted to see a knockout or a submission in his next fight, showing a new level of confidence and energy freed from the shackles of the scale. Topuria approached his new chapter with clarity and joy. I've already achieved my dream. I don't want to suffer anymore. "I want to live on the beach, not in the desert," he said. Topuria's lightweight ambitions were clear. He wanted the best that meant Islam Makhachev, the reigning lightweight champion. But when Makhachev vacated the title, Topuria was matched against a different legend, Charles Oliveira. Oliveira, the Brazilian submission artist, is one of the most dangerous fighters in UFC history, with records for the most submission wins and finishes. Oliveira represented a formidable obstacle for Topuria's lightweight ambitions. As the fight was announced for UFC 317, anticipation reached a fever pitch. Fans debated whether Topuria's power and precision would translate to the new division, or if Oliveira's experience and size would prove too much. Cutting weight in MMA is a brutal science. Fighters often lose up to 10% of their body weight in the week leading up to a fight, relying on water restriction, sweatsuits, and sauna sessions to shed the final pounds. For Topuria, the process was especially grueling despite meticulous planning. The final days were always a battle against his own body. Nutritionists and coaches worked tirelessly to minimize the damage, but the risks remained high. Dehydration, organ stress, and impaired brain function are all dangers associated with extreme weight cutting. Topuria's story is a cautionary tale for the entire sport, a reminder that the price of greatness is sometimes paid in health. The MMA community responded with a mix of admiration and skepticism. Some praised Topuria's honesty and willingness to prioritize his health, while others questioned whether he was running from tougher competition. At featherweight, veteran Matt Brown even speculated that Topuria's lifestyle choices, such as enjoying wine during camp, might have contributed to his struggles, though most agreed that the demands of the cut were the primary factor regardless of the critics. Topuria's legacy as a featherweight champion was secure. His victories over Volkanovski and Holloway cemented his place in history, and his willingness to speak openly about the dangers of weight cutting sparked important conversations throughout the sport. With the move to lightweight, Topuria adjusted his training to focus on strength, endurance, and grappling, key areas for facing a submission specialist like Oliveira. He shared glimpses of his camp on social media, asking fans whether they wanted to see a knockout or a submission finish in his upcoming fight. Mentally, Topuria approached the Oliveira fight with a renewed sense of freedom. No longer shackled by the fear of missing weight or the agony of the cut, he was able to focus entirely on strategy and execution. "I'd already done it throughout my career. I'd already achieved my dream, which was to become a world champion. I had to close that chapter because I didn't want to suffer anymore. Because honestly, it's like living in the desert, and I wanted to live on the beach," he reflected. As UFC 317 draws near, the stakes could not be higher for Topuria. It's a chance to become a two-division champion and prove that his skills transcend weight classes. For Oliveira, it's an opportunity to reclaim his throne and add another chapter to his storied career. Both fighters bring unique strengths to the octagon. Topuria's precision striking and relentless pressure versus Oliveira's submission mastery and experience at lightweight. Fans and analysts are split, with many predicting fireworks from the opening bell. Will Topuria's newfound health and energy at 155 pounds translate into a dominant performance, or will Oliveira's size and grappling prowess tip the scales in his favor? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: this is a fight that could redefine both men's legacies. Topuria's story is more than just a personal struggle. It's a cautionary tale for the entire sport. As more fighters speak out about the dangers of extreme weight cutting, the UFC and athletic commissions are under increasing pressure to implement safer practices and stricter oversight. For Topuria, the future is bright. Win or lose against Oliveira, he has already achieved what many fighters only dream of: championship glory. The respect of his peers and the courage to put his health first. His journey serves as an inspiration to fighters everywhere, reminding them that greatness is not just about victories, but about the battles fought and won outside the cage. Thank you for joining us on this emotional, action-packed journey through the life and struggles of Ilia Topuria, from his humble beginnings to the pinnacle of the sport, and from the agony of the weight cut to the freedom of a new division. Topuria's story is one of heart sacrifice and relentless determination. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more exclusive MMA content. Drop your predictions for UFC 317 in the comments below. Will Topuria's move to lightweight pay off, or will Oliveira reclaim his crown? Until next time, keep fighting the good fight both inside and outside the cage.